Even celestial beings wait for me. Minds of devotees are full with exhilaration generated by darshan of Bhagwan. Eyes closed, we meditate deeply on the glorious experience just granted to us and the captivating, magnificent form of Bhagwan. And the sweet memory of a message once given by Baba comes to our mind. After availing of the blessing of seeing me, retire to a place of solitude and silence. Keep your mind steady and unruffled. In that state of absolute calm, meditate on my form and the rare privilege and good fortune of having seen me in person. You will then derive the beneficial effect of my blessings in full measure. Then you may enter into the stillness and receive the completion of my blessings. My energy goes from me to you as I move past you during public audience. My divine power radiates in your entire being. If you begin talking immediately thereafter, instead of observing silent meditation, the precious energy is dissipated and returns back to me without leaving its beneficial impact on you. Whomsoever I look upon undergoes a change for the better and acquires new potency, which continues to gain strength day after day. Never underestimate the beneficial effect of my darshan. My walking among you is a gift yearned by the gods of the highest heaven, and here you are receiving this great. Doubt not that you have come by this godly boon as a reward for the spiritual merit of your earlier lives. Even celestial beings wait patiently for my darshan. On the other hand, this rare privilege is within your reach every day after day. Never forget that this is all due to the merit of your previous lives. These blessings you receive will express themselves in their perfect time. Then they will blossom and bear fruit. What a wonderful assurance! Even celestial beings wait patiently for my darshan. These words bring to us a recollection of a couple of fantastic events. Peda Bottu's experience. There was an ardent devotee of Sri Shirdi Sai by name Srimati Gali Sarda Devi. She had spent years in close proximity to him. More than 20 years after Shirdi Sai merged in the infinite, she happened to meet Sri Satya Sai and he summoned her to Puttaparthi. In due course, she was provided regular accommodation in Prashanti Nilayam. Bhagwan also gave her a pet name, Peda Bottu, as a term of endearment. The word means big bindi, as she used to wear an unusually large mark of vermilion on her forehead. It so happened that in the early hours of one morning she was sitting in meditation under the Tapovriksham in Parthi. It was still dark. She happened to open her eyes and suddenly saw something unbelievable. Celestial beings, and it happened in the early hours of one morning. She was sitting in the meditation under the Tapovriksham in Puttaparthi. She happened to open her eyes and suddenly saw something unbelievable. Celestial women were moving in the sky above the Prashanti Mandir. They radiated brilliant white light as they traveled over the hills to the east. Beautiful in appearance and bright in complexion, richly adorned with flowers and garlands, they did not walk on the ground but sped high in the open sky. Pedabot too guessed that they were no ordinary beings. She could also hear melodious musical sound. Astonished at the vision, she realized that the celestial beings were returning to their abode after having had the darshan of Sri Satya Sai Parabrahma, the Supreme God. Pedabot too was a yogini and was therefore blessed with this soul-stirring experience by Bhagwan. After a while, she came down the hill and quietly opened the door of the bhajan hall to find everyone fast asleep. Strangely, the sound of music was still going on. She realized that some celestial visitors were still there entertaining Baba with music and dance. In the morning, when Peda Bottu met Baba, she mentioned to him, Swami, I saw the celestial beings as they were returning after meeting you. Oh, did you? Gently smiled Swami. Raja Reddy's vision. It was Vaikuntha Ekadashi, a day of exceptional sanctity. Holy scriptures describe it as the glorious day on which Lord Mahavishnu vouchsafes darshan to devotees at the northern gateway of his celestial abode. A devotee called Raja Pedi was asleep on the veranda on the first floor of Prashanti Nilayam. At about midnight, he woke up. He noticed through the slightly open door of Swami's room a very bright illumination. He wondered why so much light was there at such an hour. He drew close and peeped through the gap between the door. He was astonished to find several celestial beings taking turns to pay homage to the lotus feet of Bhagwan. They emitted fantastic illumination. Swami was reclining, Lord Sri Mahavishnu, on the bed provided by Adi Shesha and was graciously accepting their homage. Seven fires were burning bright all around Swami's bed. The vision startled Raja Pedi. He quietly drew the doors close and went back to his bed on the veranda. He could sleep no further. Next day he mentioned to Swami about his heavenly experience and inquired, Swami, who are all those persons? Swami explained, they are all Devdats, celestial beings. They have come for my darshan. What you saw in the form of flames are Saptrishis, the seven great rishis. As I protect you by my blessings, you are still alive. Otherwise, the moment you set your eyes on that scene, you would have been reduced to ashes. Sri Satya Sai is really the human form of Parabrahma. Our humble salutations to him. Coming back to the proceedings in Prashanti Nilayam, in the southeastern corner within the Nilayam's Mandir, ceremonial worship and bathing in holy water, Rudra Abhishekam of the Salagram, representation of Lord Shiva, has by now been completed. Similarly, worship and ritual chanting of the 108 sacred names, Shatanamavali Ashtottara of Sri Satya Sai Bhagwan, as well as goddess Lalita Devi, has been concluded. Deities are required to be worshipped through pujas. Pujas are really the steps leading to the worship of the self. Every de- Every deity helps in spiritually vitalizing the Atma. Each puja has to be performed with devotion and proper realization, for it is but worship of the Supreme Being enthroned in one's own inner self. Love, spiritual consciousness, and awareness of the human absolute. These should become part and parcel of a devotee's daily life. Bhajan. It is now 9 a.m. and bhajan has commenced in the mandir. Bhagwan has come inside with a gentle smile and graced the decorated throne. He moved his hand gracefully in rhythm with the songs being sung. He has a habit of moving his finger as if he is writing something in the air. He smiles now and then. The audience goes into raptures. What does he write? Why does he smile as he writes? What would you be the thoughts that go on in his mind? The whole picture seems so mystifying. We are reminded of what Swami once said. You must have all noticed that when I am seated on the throne in the bhajan hall, I smile as though I recognize someone. I move my fingers as if I were writing something in the air. This is because I actually speak or communicate with persons not visible to you. I always help those who pray to me for help, but I do not give publicity to this matter. Does a father advertise the affectionate help he gives to his own son? The public bhajan program comprises devotional songs related to Lord Ganesha, Lord Rama, Lord Sri Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, Sai, and Allah. The singers sing soulfully, accompanied by music played on various musical instruments. Devotees too join in the vast gathering there, who is completely, fully, and totally immersed in the devotional emotion generated by this song. None else but Bhagwan, witnessing Swami so immersed in deep ananda, is itself a memorable and edifying experience that the fortunate onlookers will sweetly cherish and recall forever. Swami once exhorted his devotees about the spiritual significance of bhajan through a simple metaphor. When you gather under a tree and make a loud noise, every bird on the branch flies away. Human life is like the tree on which several birds are sitting and producing distracting noise. The birds are Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, and Matsarya. Together may they make a cacophony of sounds, disturbing your peace and equanimity. If you loudly sing the names of Ram, Krishna, Govinda, and so on, these evil birds will fly away, leaving your minds pure and heart in perfect peace. Let us grasp the intrinsic worth of performing bhajan so beautifully illustrated by Baba. Let us turn our hearts towards him. The bhajan is now concluded. Aarti has been offered to Swami and he has proceeded into his inner chamber. This is the account of the morning activities in Prashanti Nilayam. Let us offer our salutations to Bhagwan Baba. Let us ruminate and meditate on his divine form. Let us realize that Swami has retired only into our own hearts. Let us quietly leave Prashanti Nilayam, go home, and let us go. Om Shri Satya Sai Parabrahmane Namaha. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. End of chapter 1.